What's up, kinfolk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. I am in Indianapolis at Big Ten Media Days, and this is day one of our Big Ten Media Days special. You're gonna hear from James Franklin, who took some issue with my all-time Big Ten teams. I really do like his reasoning, and I'm sure that you're going to like to hear him bag on it just a little bit because there's been a bit of consternation about such things. I also get to talk with PJ Fleck, whose Minnesota Golden Gophers are going to open the season against Ohio State in a highly anticipated game. And of course, I get to talk with friend of the pod, Mike Locksley, who is going to tell us about his BCEs. No, that is not before Common Era. And Coach Locks, I'm always going to cite you. While you're here, please subscribe to the YouTube channel, the #1 ranked show with RJ Young. You type in my name in the search bar, it comes right up. Also, wherever it is you get your audio podcast, we are there. If you are using Apple, please take time to leave a 5-star review. And when you leave a review, tell us what you would like to see, tell us what you don't like to see, ask a question, have fun with it. Also, we are on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, wherever it is that you would like to consume your social media, we're there for you. All right, let's get to the interviews. I'm here with Penn State head coach James Franklin. Coach, how you doing?
Good. Yeah, appreciate the opportunity.
No, I appreciate you sitting down with us and taking the time. I want to start with this. You lose two outstanding defensive players, Jason Oweh and Stick City, Micah Parsons.
That's right.
How are y'all planning to replace that production, let alone that leadership?
Well, I think it starts with recruiting, right? You got to do a great job every single year to go out and recruit, and then most importantly, you got to develop them once they get on campus. So I think we've done a good job of that. We're LBU. We got a great history of producing big-time linebackers like Micah Parsons, but we also have a number of those guys in our program right now. So I think people will be impressed with our linebacker unit. I'm not necessarily saying we're going to replace Micah's production. We didn't have Micah last year anyway with the opt-out. And then Jason Oweh, big, strong, fast, former basketball player who really developed at Penn State. And we got some guys like that as well. So, we're excited. Obviously, like you're saying, it's a lot of production we got to replace. Fortunately, we're really just replacing one based on last year.
Well, you can make the same argument, I think, at running back. Like, one of the telltale signs for me was you go 4 deep at tailback. And I didn't know you could go for it. Like, people talk about being able to go 4 deep at tailback, but you rarely get to see that. What is it like for you to know that you have that kind of depth on your roster?
Well, again, that goes to the opposite of that last year. So before the season started last year, we lost our starting tailback before the season started. Then the third play into the first game of the season, we lose our second tailback for the season. So that put us in a situation where we had 2 true freshmen that were thrust into the fire. So with that combination, as well as those guys coming back from injuries, or at least one of them come back from injuries, that's created that type of depth. I think the Doak Walker Award, we're the only program in the country with 3 guys on that list, so that obviously helps. But after last year, it showed you better have the depth. We'll always play 3 running backs. That's to keep them healthy, not just at Penn State, but also for their future long terms. But it also puts us in a situation where we could, have a 4th back that we feel like is going to be capable as well.
Why do you think Mike Yurcich is the right guy to lead your offense?
I've been following Mike for a long time. Mike's got a very unique resume. Coached in the conference that I played in. He played in that conference as well, small Division II conference in the state of Pennsylvania. Then made a very non-traditional jump from Shippensburg to Oklahoma State, which you don't see very often. Had a bunch of success at Oklahoma State, and then obviously, was at Ohio State and then Texas. So for me, as a guy I've been tracking for a long time, I had conversations with him a year ago. So for bring him back home, he spent a lot of his professional career in the state of Pennsylvania. Him and his wife both went to college in the state of Pennsylvania. So an opportunity to bring him back, be explosive down the field, put people in conflict, make people defend 53 1/3 the width of the field, get athletes in space. Really how we have played for the majority of my Penn State career.
Is it fair to say that when Sean Clifford is golden, y'all are golden? In that when he plays really well, y'all play really well?
Well, I think you could pretty much say that for any quarterback and any football program. I think your point is a good one. You go as pretty much as far as your quarterback will take you. And I try to remind people that, a year ago, everybody was talking around the country, Sean Clifford is one of the best quarterbacks in college football and in the argument of the top 2 quarterbacks in the Big Ten. He's still that guy. Won 11 games the year before, Cotton Bowl championship, New Year's Six bowl game, all those types of things. And I think he'll be better because of the experience. I don't think there's any doubt about it. He's handled it the right way. He's attacked it head on. I think Sean's going to have a big year for us.
So, Coach, I want to switch gears here, ask you what I think are some fun questions. The first one is, what is the last job you had before going into coaching?
I worked in a psychiatric facility in Philadelphia, suburban Philadelphia. Yeah, I got my undergraduate degree in psychology, so I worked in an adult and an adolescent psychiatric facility. And that's why I'm coaching. That's why I'm coaching.
Okay, the right profession. I gave this to your players as well. If you could pick a movie football player to join your team, who would it be?
None of them. They're bad. Have you ever seen those guys? It's bad. And I think for football people, you watch it and it doesn't work. Like you watch their movements or the things they say. I don't know if I could say any of them. Typically, when I watch sports movies and they're actors, usually it's bad. It's bad usually, but that's just like an athlete or a football player trying to act. That usually doesn't end well. Or rap, that doesn't usually end well, right? We try to get outside of our wheelhouse and.
Rap, I'm gonna let you have, but I enjoy The Rock's movies. I enjoy his movies.
Correct, but yes, I'll leave it at that. Yeah, we'll talk off camera.
Coach, take a look at these right quick.
Okay.
I have the, let's call it arrogance, to put together an all-time offense and defense in the Big Ten. Now, I understand have been members forever, but when you take a look at those, who would you add?
And you're saying this is all time? You're saying that these guys that you have on here are the greatest that ever played in the Big Ten?
I'll take my team against yours.
Wow. I don't know. That's hard to say. I'm not saying that I disagree with you, but I hadn't had the time to kind of think about this and look at this and study this.
Well, you got another sheet there to consider.
I probably like your defensive one a little bit better.
It's because you see LeVar Arrington over there.
Well, that's part of it, but also there's more guys that I think have been tested over time, and there's some guys that I don't know if have been tested over time on here that I would agree with.
Well, I should also say I considered their college careers, but that's about it.
But what I'm saying is, when you talk about Charles Woodson, not only did he dominate from before, but it's been 20 years, and you still put him in that argument.
And you still haven't seen another defensive
player.
Correct.
Well, there's guys on the offensive one that just got done, and they haven't stood the test of time yet. So
it's the Archie Griffin argument. This is the one.
I don't have a strong opinion to trump on any of these, but that's my argument. Some of these guys, I don't know if they have stood the test of time to be on here. Like Orlando Pace, that you could say up to that point and after he deserves on this. There's nobody that's knocked Orlando Pace off of this list. It's hard for me to put a guy on the list that just got on here. Again, if you're talking college football, I think Saquon trumps Ezekiel.
Okay.
Now, if you're factoring in what Ezekiel's done in the NFL as well, that's a different conversation.
Okay.
But in terms of just college, I think it's hard to argue with Saquon.
Okay. Coach, I could keep you here talking about this, but I will not.
Appreciate it.
I appreciate your time. Penn State head coach James Franklin, thank you much, sir.
Thank you.
I'm here with Northwestern football players Sam Jarrett, Brandon Joseph, and Cam Porter. How you guys doing?
Good. Great.
Right on. So, we was talking about the jersey, and I've been getting some love on the jersey, and I appreciate that. But, I don't know. I kind of want to get into the season with you, but I also want to start with a very simple question. Who's your favorite football player who's fictional? Movie football player. Let's put it that way. Maybe not fiction.
Bobby Boucher.
Okay.
That dude from All-American. I can't even think of his name right now. The All-American show on Netflix.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. I don't know his name either.
He went from the hood to the good town.
Okay.
He was
to the good town.
To the
Look
good
at his name. He said to the good town.
To the rich man town.
That's what I'm about to say. Cam, what you got?
Big fan of The Longest Yard, so
Okay.
Adam Sandler in that. So
For real?
Yeah.
Paul Crew in there? Okay, all right.
definitely want to go with
Okay.
that one. So.
The old heads is shouting, Burt Reynolds! That's what's up. All right, so 2021 season, again, going to be unlike any other, like last year, but in a very different way. How you guys feel about playing in front of people?
I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Being a redshirt sophomore, my redshirt freshman year was my first year truly playing, and only playing in front of no fans was, I mean, it was football. It's like you're just going out there and playing football. So getting the fans back in there is going to be something that I cannot wait for.
Sam, what you got?
The atmosphere is what makes college football. So it wasn't quite the same last year, and really looking forward to having them back this year.
Cam.
It was definitely tough trying to find your own energy, find your own juice before every game. But I mean, I feel like it's going to be way easier with Wildcat Stadium rocking. So.
Now, I'm going to start with you on this one, Sam, as the elder statesman in the room here. Last year, I feel to some of us neutrals, y'all kind of come out of nowhere, show up in the Big Ten championship game, give somebody a game, right, and then show right back up in a bowl game. How are you trying to build on that success from last year?
I think we need to get to the point as a program where we are no longer that team that comes out of nowhere. We still have that reputation of being that small school that nobody really expects much out of, and I understand why. We are a high academic institution and private school, but we have a lot of talent on our team, and we need to continue to build on that and understand the importance of winning.
Appreciate that. Brandon.
I'm going to echo everything he said. We're used to being the underdogs. We're used to being that team that shows up and's not supposed to win but finds a way to. So, I mean, honestly, I'll stay as the underdog. I'll be the underdog every day. I'll go out there and beat the big dog. That's what I like to do. So being the underdog, I know we as Northwestern, we want to take that next step from losing the Big Ten championship and winning the Citrus Bowl to winning that Big Ten championship and making it to that next level. I know that's where we want to go next as a team.
Cam.
Like Sam and Bijo said, I mean, that's kind of our mindset. We kind of want to take that step where let people know that we're a team, a great team, and we're a team here to stay. So we can compete with anybody in the country, academically and athletically. And I think that's the key, man. Just keep building, and that's kind of our mindset going into all of this.
Nah, I love that. I do, because you're right in that when I think of Northwestern, being in media, I think about journalism school, right? But y'all also have one of my favorite people as your athletic director. He was also my athletic director at the University of Tulsa for a while, and Dr. Gregg. And he's always going to be very high on being good at both. Want to win championships on and off the field, as he says. All right, so one of the things that I think is also overlooked about Northwestern, I would love for y'all to speak to this from the standpoint of being developed by Coach Fitz and the staff, but also just what goes on in the classroom. Y'all been turning out some picks in the NFL here lately. Nobody talking about it. Like, we're going to get to you in a second because you ain't got Greg Newsome over there to help you no more.
I got Cameron Mitchell.
Ooh, look at you being quick with it.
I already know.
Okay, all right. So, bump my question. Tell me about Cam. Tell me how you feel about that secondary.
I think our secondary, we went out and did what we did last year, and I think we got some young talent that, I don't know if y'all saw Cameron Mitchell in the last few games and then A.J. Hampton over the course of that season. They're both back too, and I think them along with me and whoever we're going to put in at that fourth spot, we got a chance to be the best DBs in the country right there again.
Right on, man. So, like, Greg gets drafted first round. Rashawn, of course, gets drafted the first round. What is the development like at Northwestern? Sam, let's start with the offensive line, Rashawn Slater.
It's so nice having coaches who have played like at Northwestern. Coach Fitz playing there, he knows exactly what we've been through. Coach Anderson, our offensive line coach, played O-line at Michigan. He knows exactly what the grind is in camp, days of practice, and he is a technician, helping to develop our technique, helping to make us the better players that we deserve to be.
Right on. Cam, what do you got?
I mean, we obviously had the best head coach in college football, but me personally, for my position, I feel like I had the best running back coach in the country in Lou Ianni. He's developed guys like David Montgomery, Kareem Hunt, and I feel like, I mean, he just knows what it takes to bring the best out of you and to make you the best back that you can possibly be. So he believes in you and he wants you to be the best. So.
No, I'm with that. All right, let's flip to some fun questions, right? Kind of like the one we started with. So down the line, first player that comes to your mind. Who is your favorite past college football player? Sam, let's start with you.
Tim Tebow.
Okay. You want to tell me why?
He was fun to watch, man.
Okay.
He revolutionized college football.
Revolutionize. Okay, I'm not gonna fight you on that. Man won 2 national championships. We'll leave it there. Brandon.
My favorite. I'm from College Station, Texas. Grew up watching Texas A&M. Grew up having season tickets to go watch that man Johnny Manziel when he was there. Was probably the most exciting person I've watched. I used to be a quarterback too, so back when I was a quarterback, I used to watch them and love their game. And Johnny was just running around everybody, so he was insane.
See, now you're gonna make Texas A&M alums just mad. Like, how are we not gonna get Brandon Jones? No, we'll let it go.
I was in their backyard. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay, it hurt you say it. Cam, who you got?
Oh, this is tough, but I'm gonna have to either go with DeMarco Murray in college, or I'm gonna have to go with Braxton Miller. So I'm an Ohio kid.
Okay.
Braxton Miller is obviously an Ohio legend.
I was about to say, you a Cincy kid,
I know,
not just an
I know,
Ohio kid.
I know.
Yeah.
That's tough, but I mean, dude was electric.
Down the line, who would you most want on the team to date your sister?
Most one?
Okay. Ooh.
You want to go least? 'Cause I got a least.
Go ahead, lay it on me.
Least is Wayne Dennis. Go ahead and put that on TV. Wayne, you know it too, boy. Everyone gonna say your name. Who's the worst to you?
I will go with Wayne Dennis.
Sam, you got a teammate you want to date your sister?
I don't think I want any of my teammates dating my sister.
Hey, I'll give my sister to Hunter Johnson. That's a good guy.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
maybe Hunter.
Hunter Johnson's a great guy.
Okay.
I'd let Hunter
All
date
right.
my sister.
Andrew Morty.
Quarterbacks are nice.
Yeah,
guys.
quarterbacks are nice dudes.
I'm gonna let y'all think that. Y'all got
Hey,
you got-
Hunter Johnson's not Johnny Manziel.
Okay, see, let's keep it 100. Let's keep it a buck. I like that one. All right, so I went ahead and put together what I thought was the best all-time Big Ten team ever. Offense,
It's a lot of red.
defense, a lot of red. It's a lot of red. Pick a fight with it if you need to.
Who is Bronco?
Nagurski?
I'm from Texas.
Okay.
I don't know too much about the Big
But
Ten.
but
It's
you
a
know who
Nagurski
was,
award.
it's about to give it to the best defensive player of the year every year. And I thought this one you might want to keep your eye on.
That's the name.
He like, I'm thinking about the Thorpe Award. I'm not thinking about.
I am thinking about the Thorpe.
I'm not thinking about the Bronco Nagurski Award.
What they got a running back over there?
Switch.
Jonathan Taylor.
Anybody you don't like over there?
I mean, it's hard to argue with any of those. Those
Okay.
are all some great players.
I wish I knew who.
Y'all got a little piece of Justin Fields though. I'm just gonna, okay. Brandon can talk about that.
You put Justin?
I did.
Best Big Ten quarterback of all time?
Who you got?
I mean, I don't know the like I said, I don't know the Big Ten like that. I'm putting Justin. I would love for him to be the best Big Ten quarterback of all time.
He's like, yeah, because I got him. Got that one in my back pocket. Cam, what you got?
All time?
Yeah, all time, dog. Big Ten been around for a very long time.
Jonathan Taylor and Zeke?
Who else you got?
I mean, you gotta put Archie Griffin in there.
See, you the first player to say that to me.
Really?
You're the first one.
Come on now, that's a legend.
I'm not
I
giving
respect
anybody,
it. I
it's not
respect
the
it.
all Heisman list, it's the all-time great list.
I didn't know if it was like, past 10 years.
No, it's ever.
all time.
Ever. But you know Archie Griffin's name. Yeah. Why did you pick him out?
Like I always say, I'm an Ohio kid, so I mean, all you hear about is Ohio State legends. So
Right.
I mean, obviously my dad grew up watching him, so he cut on old tapes of Archie Griffin, and I'm like, who is this guy running literally everybody over? So I mean, I'm a big Archie Griffin fan, so it kind of surprised me a little bit, but
All right.
respect it.
No, I appreciate that. Yo, you good?
Yeah,
You good?
I'm good.
You straight? You straight? You straight?
Yeah, I'm good.
He had it, Jack. He had it. I'm here with Michigan players Hassan Haskins, of course, Aiden Hutchinson, and Josh Ross. You guys doing okay?
Yes, sir. Going good. Pretty good.
Right on, right on. All right, so let's start with, I think, the marquee game on the schedule for us neutrals. You guys got a game against Washington, I think week 2 for you.
Yeah.
That Pac-12 Big Ten connection is what we're all really interested in, but how are y'all feeling about just being able to play football, something like regular again?
Oh, yeah. You want to start?
I'll pop it off, man. It's so exciting. Coming off a year like last year, it was tough. It was COVID, no fans, tough year. Didn't play our best ball, but it's a new opportunity. Everybody back, everything back to normal, like everything good.
Yeah, man.
So-
Now, you gonna get letter number 5?
Huh?
That's it. Like you lettered this year, you gonna have 5.
Yeah.
They gonna get you a new jacket?
He needs one.
I'm saying though, right? Like 5 letters?
I know.
Been there for a
It's been
minute.
a minute, yeah, but it ain't even about it's
like I said, man, it's exciting though. Like just coming off of last year, coming into this year, new opportunity, all that good stuff. Like it's go time.
Back for war, man.
And it's almost camp.
4 wasn't good enough.
Exactly. We're ready now. For real. It's wartime.
That's what's up. That's what's up. All right, so Aiden, I got to ask you specifically, and Josh, feel free to jump in, and I'm sure, Hassan, you got some things to say. I'm from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Y'all got one of mine's playing safety. Okay? Dirty 30 is one of mine.
Dirty 30, okay. Okay.
How is that secondary, and in particular, what are you expecting him to do this year?
Yeah, our secondary is it's going to be real good, I think. I think we got all 4 starters returning, actually. You got Brad, Dax, Vince, Jamon on the other side. I mean, we're going to have a lot of experience coming back. Dax is going to be balling out. He's got now a lot of game experience under his belt for only being was he junior this year? Yeah. I think. And then Brad, 5th year in. I mean, we got a lot of experience everywhere in the secondary, so I think that's important too with all the signaling, the calls. Everyone's got to be on the same page, and having older guys in the secondary, it's a lot easier to communicate that and just being on the same page with everything. So.
I would be remiss if I didn't ask y'all how you're adapting to Coach McDonald.
I could take that. Coach McDonald's a great coach, and one of my first impressions about Coach McDonald was, man, this guy is really easy to talk to. And I'm serious. Like, he's an easy to talk to guy, and he's a young guy, and he's an energetic guy. You know what I'm saying? And he wants the same mission we want. It's to win games. And that's all he wants. And, you know, just learning, coming from winter conditioning to spring ball, actually installing some of the defense and learning and putting in new fronts and all these things, it's been really, really, really good. And we're so excited for camp and get everything going because it's going to be good.
Yeah, I think Coach McDonald, too, his level of focus is one thing I observed, you know, coming in and seeing him come in. I think he's just so locked in and focused on our defensive goal this year and just bringing out a good defense that's going to be, you know, just unstoppable. So that's one thing that I really observed with Coach Mack. And even in spring ball, he's got the fire, but he's also got the focus. So it's a good blend of 2 kind of opposite-like things. But I'm interested to see how this year goes because it's going to be a show, man.
Yeah, and then one thing I will add just about the secondary, and specifically Dax. Dax is a baller.
He's a baller.
He's a baller.
He's like that.
But, you know, like, especially, like, after his first year, of course he played, you know, he did what he did. It's quiet.
Yes.
Quiet.
Yes.
It's quiet.
Really difficult to get something out of him.
It's quiet, yeah, he's quiet.
Silent
like,
killer, man.
It's like now, you know, like now as he, like, getting older, getting older, becoming a vet, talking more. And not only just him, but Brad Hawkins, you know, one of my closest friends that's a 5th year with me. You know, you got RJ Moten, you got Jamon, you got DJ, you got Vince. All these guys in the secondary, we've been around each other for a really, really long time. And it's just exciting to just go out there and you look over, you communicate, and you know, like, he got my back.
I've been playing with this dude for 2 years.
No, he got my back for real. You know, and we built so many good relationships and all that stuff. And it's like, I know he gonna make sure I'm good.
Yeah.
So I want to switch to what I think are some fun questions. Son, we're going to start with you. Okay?
I bet.
Who was your favorite past college football player?
Favorite college? That's a tough one. All right now. I'll probably say Adrian Peterson.
Okay.
I could have guessed that.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's my idol right there.
I was about to say, yeah, man's from Eureka. He understand. He understand.
Yeah, I watched a lot of his games there. That's just my idol right there. Like, I look up to him for sure.
What's up? About you, Aiden?
I'd probably say my dad. He played Michigan.
Right on.
Back in the day.
Captain of the team, right?
Captain, defensive lineman, same kind of deal. And you know, I'll go back, watch some of his film. It's fun seeing him because I see some similarities between us, and it is cool though to see it.
That's what's up. I would say Reggie Bush, and back in the day, running back was kind of my main position. I'm a backer now, but back in the day, you know, when I played for the Cubs, like shout out to the Cubs, like when I played for the Cubs, like running back is my position, and I'm like I want 5, like because of Reggie Bush, like I want 5. And like I really like that 2006 NCAA, like I used to be at home like grinding. But no, that's definitely like that, because that was the first year I kind of started playing football. I always wanted to be a running back. started off originally like kind of playing lineman, being a little bit bigger, but always wanted to play running back, didn't end up being able to. But like Reggie Bush, like started that love for football for me for sure.
I put together what I thought was the best all-time offense and defense in the Big Ten history.
Oh.
Tell me who I left off and who you gonna take off to get them all. Because remember, it's 11 aside.
Best offenses in Big Ten history, the best offense?
That was my arrogance, yes.
I'm not gonna lie. On that defense, I need to see D. Bush on there.
Yeah, D. Bush. For sure.
I need to see D. Bush on there because
Who are the linebackers?
Ryan Shazier.
Tell when you see Devin, you tell him I got a TikTok account.
Okay, I got you. I got you. Bet. So he can get him a piece. Okay.
See, I can't say anyone can't be on this list. That's just a little disrespectful.
Yeah,
Well, I mean,
all these guys are ballers.
Well,
you know
but
what I'm
I
saying?
appreciate that. I appreciate
be
that.
disrespectful.
That is the Michigan man coming out.
No.
That is that. No, I appreciate that. All right.
Tristan Wirfs. No, I'm sorry. Let me not do that. 'Cause
Dude,
I don't wanna
what's
come
wrong
out
with Tristan?
It's nothing wrong with Tristan.
Yeah, I did that too.
Nah.
No, I'm just kidding.
But no, I ain't
he's a
trying to
good
be.
player.
Yeah. it's all
I
good.
can't hate on anyone.
No, I ain't trying to hate. It's
I
just,
know.
you know.
Well, there's a little hate.
It is a little hate,
A
but
little
I
bit of hate.
definitely don't think.
Well, I'm saying
But
all
I just,
time.
Yeah, all time. That's
he's
too
a
far.
great player.
He a good,
All
that's,
time?
That's too. Yeah, that's too far.
All time is.
Look. It's my list.
Now Jake Long, that's more like it. But also,
Ain't nobody said nothing about
what's your name
Charles.
Too? Huh?
Yeah. That's valid.
Yeah, that's valid from here.
I'm tripping.
Give me a year. Give me a program.
Oh,
give me
Taylor Lewani.
Okay. All right.
Come on now.
All right.
Like-
All right. So I got Taylor Wan, and I got
D. Bush.
Devin Bush.
For
All
sure.
right. Josh, Aiden, Hassan, thank y'all so much for this, man. I appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
For sure. Thanks for
Thanks
having
for
us.
having us.
I'm here with Minnesota coach PJ Fleck. Coach, how you doing?
I'm doing elite. How are you?
Elite. What makes you do elite?
It's a saying we have in our program. Just a mindset, right? Necktie mentality, always attacking, never fold. Urgent pace, Prefontaine pace we call it, right? Always attacking, never fold. And then the Prefontaine pace. And then Farmers Alliance, man. Just make sure you can be trusted. That's what we talk about, being elite.
But Prefontaine pace, did I hear that correctly?
You did.
So front running.
Oh, yeah. We're
And
going
all
out
out.
sprinting. We're
Okay.
going.
Okay.
We're not pacing ourselves. We're going.
Well, and to that end, you play the defending Big Ten champion to open the season. I'm going to lay something on you, Coach, right quick, all right? Ohio State hasn't lost a season opener since August 29th, 1999.
I graduated high school in 1999.
Really? So you were around for it. I was around for it. You might have been around for this one. I was not. They haven't lost a home opener since September 16th, 1978.
I wasn't around for that one.
Okay, well, I got to
I wasn't even a thought yet.
That makes you a lot different than a lot of coaches.
I'm bald, though, so I feel
Okay. So what do you think it's going to take, other than being elite, for your for your kids, not for your coaches, for your kids to overcome that?
We have to be at our best. I mean, we have 12 games, right? And you get to open the college football season, for Thursday night, Huntington Bank Stadium. It'll be our third straight sellout. You get to play an Ohio State team defending Big Ten champions. I mean, they're always reloading. They're not rebuilding. Coach Day is one of the best coaches in America. Runs one of the best programs in America, right? And one of the most historic programs. I used to work there. I know it. I have a lot of respect for it. But our players have to realize that you got to be humble enough to know that anybody, it doesn't matter, can beat you if you're not at your best, but confident enough to know you can beat anybody if you are at your best. And if you keep that mindset, and we prepare that way, and we keep together, grateful for the time together, we form an identity, make this 21 team different than any team we've ever had, and then we focus on each other, we got a chance.
Building an identity year after year, though, that's difficult, and you have to do that in a matter of weeks, I think, leading up to a game like this, and then you're going to evolve with how you guys mature, right? But to that end, you got two guys in the backfield that I really love, outstanding leader in Tanner Morgan, and I was very excited to see the Mo Ibrahim show last year. What does it mean for you to have those two guys leading your offense?
Well, we've got 10 starters back on offense, 10 starters back on defense, all of our specialists besides our kicker. And that the experience matters. It truly does. When you have Tanner Morgan, who's been through what he's been through with his father passing away last week, he's always been the emotional heartbeat of this team. He's been the leader of this football team. But also, when you got everybody else coming back, the pressure gets taken off him because you got Mo Ibrahim back. But Glenn Mason at Minnesota said a long time ago, you need a pair and a spare. Well, we have a pair, right? a spare, and then we have air for the spare and the pair. We have 4 backs that we really like that, Mohamed's got to be able to stay healthy for, 12, 13, 14 games, whatever it is. And he's going to get his fair share. And he's going to get a big load of carries, but the Trey Potts right behind him, and the Cam Wileys, and the Bryce Williams, and those guys are going to get a lot of carries too. So we have something we haven't had in a long time, and that's depth. But we have 2 major contributors on offense who have played a ton of football for us, have led us to huge wins. We've had some tough defeats, but you have to embrace your past to create your future, and that's what those guys are going to do for us. And I couldn't ask for 2 better leaders than those 2 guys on our offense.
One of the guys you brought with you, I was very excited to see, is Boye Mafe. And I remember watching tape of him at Golden Valley. Man's got so much bigger, and he's so much more confident. And now you're getting to add a guy like Niles Pinckney to this defensive line. How excited are you to see these guys go after people?
I'm really excited. People talked about last year's defense, and we were missing 35 players in one of our Big Ten games. Some people got hit differently than other people with the COVID. And 2019, we were losing 7 starters off that 11-win team, which we hadn't won 11 games since 1904. So we're losing 7 starters on defense. We knew we were going to be young and inexperienced, but very talented. But then we never got to develop that talent throughout the year because of COVID. And then all of a sudden you get there and a bunch of inexperienced young players who haven't played. By the beginning of the year to the end of the year, we got a lot better. You look at that Nebraska game, look at that Wisconsin game, our defense played way better, and everybody's back. And anchoring that is Boye Mafe. And Boye is one of those freak athletes that, I said this in my presser, he's going to come here in Indy next year and blow away the combine. People are going to look at the numbers and look again to make sure it's right. He's a freak that way. He had 4.5 sacks in 6 games last year, but now he needs to break out, and he knows that. And he's got to be that heartbeat leader on the defense that he can be, and he will be. You add a guy like Niles Pinckney into the mix at the defensive line and the interior to really anchor it down. He was a captain at Clemson that won multiple national championships when he was there. He knows what it looks like. He knows how to be able to handle himself. And I think that's rubbed off on our defensive line and made us a better football team.
So, Coach, I want to switch gears here real quick and ask you some questions I've asked some players, yours as well, and see what you do with these questions, because have fun, as you've been saying, right?
Sure.
What was the last job you had before being a coach?
I was a 6th grade social studies teacher.
Whereabouts?
In DeKalb, Illinois. I was doing my student teaching at Clinton Rosette Middle School. And then I played in the NFL, so NFL player before a coach, but elementary school teacher. And before that, in college, I was part of Dr. Detail, the mobile car washing service. Van Dr. Detail, driving to the city of Chicago with a big tanks of water and washing people's car while they go to work. That's what I did.
So, who was your favorite college football player from the past?
Oh my gosh, I had a lot of them. I was Jim McMahon for Halloween for like 3 straight Halloweens.
Really?
Jim McMahon, I'm from Chicago, so Jim McMahon was my guy. And the punky QB, man, headband and all. So I would probably say growing up, it was him. It was anybody on the Chicago Bears. Dennis Gentry, there's a name for you. Willie Gault, right? Walter Payton. All those guys.
So, Coach, you've seen me with these placards in my hands, and I'm going to hand them both to you now. I put together what I thought was the best defense and offense ever in Big Ten history. Tell me who I left off.
I mean, this is crazy. I mean, you look at these guys. I mean, you can go through any one of them. I mean,
But you know who Charles Rogers and David Boston is.
Oh, absolutely.
See, and
I know all these guys.
I'm dealing with kids that.
Oh, they have no idea. Our kids actually said this. Our kids said, someone handed me a list of defensive guys, and I asked, I think Muhammad Ibrahim said, who's this guy? I would never have picked him. He goes, well, he's a defensive coordinator at Wisconsin. His name's Jim Leonard. He's one of the greatest safeties ever to play in the Big Ten. And I was like, I had no idea who he was. But these guys, if they're not on Madden, and they probably have no idea. So this is a big-time list, though.
No, I appreciate that, Coach.
That's really good.
Put some thought into it.
There's a lot of Buckeyes on there.
Well, see if you can't change that. See if you can't change that.
No, I'm okay with that. I mean, I was around. I worked at Ohio State, though. I mean, Teddy Ginn was pretty dominant.
You know, I forget which one said that, but one of the kids came through and said, "Where's Ted Ginn?" I said, "Doing what? You gonna take a wide receiver off? Tell me which one." No, he could play.
I mean, Randy Moss, Marshall.
Hey, Rashad Bateman.
Yeah, I mean, yet Randy Moss's career is finished, so I'd probably put Randy on there.
Okay.
I mean, you could go through Troy Smith. I mean, what he did for the Buckeyes. Oof. That was a fun era. I could go through just that team and probably throw one or two more on there. So
Coach,
pretty good.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, that was a good list.
And I appreciate you, Coach. Thank you so much for this, Coach PJ Fleck. And I hope and pray you have an outstanding season and you guys get better.
Thanks a lot, man.
I'm here with Maryland head coach Mike Loxley. Coach, how you doing?
What's going on, RJ?
I'm chilling, man. I appreciate you being a friend of the show.
Right.
It's nice to see a friendly face in all of this. The fellas you brought through, right? Nick Cross, DeLulia, and of course Dante Demas, they feel like the backbone of your team. But the backbone of your team is also still being formed, right? What does that feel like for you as you seeing them stiffen up just a little bit each and every day?
Yeah, we're in a growth phase still with our program. We're in, realistically it's year 3, but if you look at the fact that we only played 5 games last year, I think we're like 2.5 in terms of our development. And I could even challenge that to be maybe 1.5 because I got here really, really late after the championship game from Alabama. But the thing I like is that we got the culture right now. And that's the first key to it. And you usually can feel it and see it when you hear your players talk like you as a coach. And I'm starting to hear them talk like me a little bit as a coach in terms of player-driven and accountability and discipline and no BCEs.
BCEs.
No BCEs.
Oh, what are no BCEs?
No bitching, complaining, or excuses.
Okay. All
no
right.
BCEs.
No, I like that. I'm going to keep that.
Yeah, just make sure you cite your source.
With that.
Put your footnote at the bottom.
There you
Coach
go.
Locks.
There you go. There you go.
Date it, timestamp it.
What we got? We about 5 o'clock local time, July 22nd?
There you go.
I got you, Coach. I got you. So in hearing them do those things, one of the other things that I like about your kids and I like about you is you've been so very open about what you think, why you think it, why you believe it. You've also been open about where you've been. I have not seen many coaches, especially head coaches, want to talk about where they were before they are where they are, and in this case being Alabama. Why have you been so open about that?
Well, I think it's who I am as a person. Like I told you to cite your sources. When you steal something from somebody in terms of their philosophies or things that you like, I think you owe them the credit of where you got it from. And, I was very, very deliberate in my decision making when I went to work at Alabama because I had opportunities to go other places, and I actually went there as an off the field coach. And then from there, something that doesn't happen very often, rose to co-coordinator to rose to the play caller, the coordinator, which hadn't happened there. So very fond of my time of being able to, as I call, the sabbatical learning, the 3 years I was at Alabama, because I went to 3 straight national championship games. I mean, how many people can say they did that? And I've been in the business 30 years now, and prior to going there 3 years ago, or 27 years in, I'd never been to one national championship game. So, I like coming to America, and you ever see McDowell's and McDonald's? Okay. They got the Big Mac, we got the Big Mick. So, but no, I got a lot of respect for Coach and how he's been able to do it. And I went there with that intention to figure out, how did you build this monster? And so I stole Grandma's chocolate chip cookie recipe. And if she say put 3 drops of vanilla extract in there, why am I gonna put 4? So.
No, I appreciate that. And I also appreciate that you're not afraid to use what you know works. I feel many times we're trying to reinvent the game, and it's still 11 aside. You still block, you still tackle, you still pass, you still run. All right, Coach, let's flip to what I think are some more interesting and fun questions.
Got it.
But the first one, again, have fun with it. Say 3 nice things about your rival.
I like his family. They got a really nice family and kids. Got some pretty good players. Man. Really respect those guys. And nice haircut. Nice haircut.
Lineup is not too out of whack. I like it. No, I appreciate that. A lot of people can't get to 3. My respect for that. All right, last one of these. Best uniforms in college football, not named Maryland Terrapins.
I hate to say this, man. I hate to say it. I mean, especially with the old ACC rivalry, we hate each other in basketball, but that North Carolina Powder Bowl, it's fire, man. It's fire. Like,
I like it.
You know, it's fire.
I like it. Hey, look, it's a good look. It's a
It
good
is,
look.
man. I hate even saying it. Sorry, Terps fans. I really don't, but I do.
All right, Coach, take a look at these. I put together what I thought was the best all-time Big Ten offense and defense. Who did I leave off?
All time. And this is based on their college playing
Yes, sir.
years. All right,
Yes,
because
sir.
if
That's
you don't have Tom Brady on it, but I know he was
went that
average.
great.
Yeah,
Michigan.
yeah,
He went
Michigan.
that great.
Yeah,
They don't want to be very loud about that, though.
yeah. You got Jake Long. You got Worse.
Take a look at defense right quick. Because we run it up on time, so if you're going to pick a fight, you can pick a fight.
Far. Wow. Okay. Now, he didn't play in that Big Ten.
I had the same conversation with the kids.
'Cause I was gonna say, because E.J. Anderson, the most decorated player now at Maryland, but he didn't play. He played ACC.
Right.
Dang. Jack Tatum.
It's okay to say I'm perfect.
You ain't though, man. I'm gonna find one on here. I mean, I like Jim Leonard, but man, I got somebody else I can put back there with. Nah, you might be right, man. Dang.
It's a deep lead. It's a deep
Running
lead.
back though. See, I think man, Kurt Warner might make that running back list if you're gonna
Okay.
go back like.
Okay.
But was he in the Big Ten when he played?
I don't
Or that
think
won't matter.
so. I don't
No,
think so.
I don't think so either.
The kids usually be picking on Saquon Barkley to take that Jonathan Taylor spot.
I would, but he wasn't Saquon. Yeah, he had 2 good years. Jonathan Taylor was really the first back there though. Was the big boy, man, the Wisconsin. He kind of set that thing. Ron Dane.
Yeah.
Like I would maybe go with the big horse there, but bro, that's pretty strong.
I appreciate that.
That's pretty strong.
Well, Coach Mike Loxley, thank you so much for your time, sir. And again, I wish you the best of luck this upcoming season.
Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. I'm here with Michigan head coach Jim Harbaugh. Coach, how you doing?
Doing good.
I'm doing good too, Coach. I want to start with this, though. You have 3 outstanding quarterbacks, and I feel like any one of them is good enough to lead your team. What do they provide you?
Well, the Cade McNamara, for instance, he's the one who's come out of spring practice and is our #1 quarterback. Played last year, was successful. He's got a gene in him that he must win. He's got to be successful. Got to do it for the team. And he's also got this ability to lead, to hold himself accountable for things and bring others along. He's got a knack, and J.J. McCarthy has a lot of those same qualities, really does. And arm talent is really good, like Cade, and really good athlete. But then there's Cade there that he's not giving it up, and J.J. is.
So against Rutgers.
Yeah, it's as I said, JJ's got the same qualities. I mean, they're it's like watching iron sharpen iron.
Okay.
It really is. Dan Villari has come a very long way in his throwing mechanics and being able to make all the throws right now, but also a really good athlete, size, physical type of speed, force, agility, dual threat quarterback, and also can contribute on special teams. So those 3 guys, I mean, you watch them grow, watch them mature, and watch them have at it and roll the balls out there, and watch them compete for what they want to do, which is lead our team.
You also have another guy on the other side of that ball from my hometown, Tulsa, Oklahoma. Daxton Hill. Yeah, no, he's He's a player,
Yeah.
and he's in a position of leadership for you this year. What is he providing you on the back end?
Dax is an elite athlete with elite athletic gifts, and tremendous. Seeing this kind of a quiet fire in him. He doesn't. He's not all out there. He's got a humility about him. But like when he gets matched up with somebody, and it's like time to show what you can do. I mean, that's when he excels the most, and he can do things that only have been given by God, Dad, and Mom. But now that he's in that upperclassman position, he's in that leadership position. Seen even more of a sense of urgency from him.
I've said it before. He's the best pure football player I've only ever seen with my own two eyes, and I'm very excited to see what he's still capable of. I really enjoy watching him play ball. Coach, going into this season.
When did you first see him play?
I saw him play in high school at Booker T. I went to Booker T. I saw him as a freshman.
Great program.
Well, yes, but you don't see underclassmen make the jump like he made the jump. And to do everything he could do, playing offense, defense, special teams, of course, but I don't see guys playing not center field, over on the right side of the field, make a loop, and then make a play on the ball because he's covering somebody else's position. I just didn't see it. Yeah. And he knows what he's doing on a football field. He is at home on a football field. And I felt that he was built to play the sport. So getting to see him play for you, I'm still waiting to see what else he's going to surprise me with.
Yeah, I think you're going to continue to see him grow and get better and better. He's, like I said, kind of a silent assassin. In terms of he has, that kind of humility, but yet, I mean, he is. He's got rare gifts, and he's very confident in his ability. It's going to be fun to continue to watch. But that's really profound. You said that. It's the best one you've seen with your own two eyes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And I want to continue to see that come into fruition. You brought 3 guys with you that are all contributors for your team, but I wanted to talk specifically about Hassan Haskins because I was preparing for this interview and preparing to talk with him. And hearing how his coaches at Eureka would talk about him, you would think this is FBS prospect, and yet he's still there, high jumping 6'7". He's putting 1,400 yards on the ground. What made you believe that he could play for you? And then now that he's here and he's in this position of leadership, what are you still waiting on him to do?
He's one of my favorite players on the team. There's nobody I like more than Hassan Haskins. He's a freak athlete. You just said it, 6'7" as a high jumper, 1,400 yards as a running back. He had like 11 sacks as an outside linebacker. He can get into positions and that doesn't look like a human being could really get into that position and recover. And as a running back, I mean, he will get 2 more yards than what the play's blocked for. At least a yard more than what it's blocked for. It's blocked for 0, he's getting at least a yard or 2. If it's blocked for 4, he's getting 6. If it's blocked for 6, he's getting 8 to 10. And he would be a great linebacker as well. If he were sitting here and like we were saying this about him, he would be like, don't say that,
I get that. I get that from him.
He's, in terms of humility, in terms of work ethic at the highest. He is, he's definitely, as I said, it's all good. He would have been drafted last year. He's come back for another year. You want to say football player, he's a football player. I mean, that's the highest compliment I think you can give any football player. I mean, he is a football player.
Appreciate that, Coach. I want to shift to what I think are a bit more fun questions. I took the liberty of putting together what I thought of as the all-time best Big Ten team.
Wow.
Offense and defense. Let me know who I left off.
You need to compare.
You know what?
we're all-
I hear
all
that from
good.
coaches. I hear
Yeah.
that from coaches.
I don't like to compare. It's just every time you compare, somebody gets diminished. You know, it's kind of like it's like the LeBron Jordan debate. You know, they're both great.
They're both great.
I'm just going to stop there. Brady, Manning, you know, they're both great.
All right.
A lot of great
that,
ones.
Coach. I'll take that, Coach. Michigan coach Jim Harbaugh, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. I'm here with Minnesota players Tanner Morgan, Boye Mafe, and Mohamed Ibrahim. Guys, how you doing?
Pretty good. Thank you for having us.
Nah, man, I appreciate y'all being here. I'm going to ask a question to you first, Tanner. You guys opened the season with a really good opponent. How has that helped energize you for the start of the season?
Yeah, I mean, I think when you're playing Ohio State, it's one of the best programs in college football. You know, we're excited for the opportunity and the challenge to play them. And it's you know, every game lives independently, and we're excited for the challenge and the opportunity week one, and we know it's right off the bat, so we're looking forward to it.
Boye, you get to go at that offensive line. How excited are you about that?
I mean, they're a great team. They always have a great team. They always reload every year. So to have the opportunity to go against them first week, you know, that's exciting, obviously. You know, to have that challenge, to have something to start off the season it's amazing. I feel the energy in the room is just like, let's play.
Yeah, man. Mohamed, you're going to be 7 yards deep against that defense. What you thinking?
I know that I have a challenge ahead of me, but I'm trusting in our coaching, my O-line, my tight ends, my wide receivers, that we can get the job done. That team is going to reload. I know they lost a lot of people, but they reload every year. They're going to reload, go to the draft, reload, go to the draft. So it's a common thing for them. So understand that they're going to be loaded next year. We're going to take day by day in August, get better and better, and get ready for the challenge.
Tanner, pointedly, you had two of the best wide receivers in the country the last couple of years. Who are you expecting to take up that mantle this year?
Yeah, I mean, I think every guy's a little different, right? Comparison's still your joy, so we can't really compare one guy to the next. But one thing about our coaching staff is we have two elite wide receiver coaches, and Coach Simon, Coach Fleck. And obviously Chris Hoffman-Bell's played a lot of football, has played at a high level, and he's continued to take that next step. So and he's led that room a lot. So we got a lot of guys that are excited for the opportunity to get more reps and do things like that. And I love that group, and I'm excited to see how those guys continue to develop.
Boye a bit retooled on that defensive line, and you playing rush in, and I feel like you're gonna have some fun this year, yeah?
Yeah, we got a lot of additions onto the team, and a lot of people. We brought all the guys back for the next season, so to have the additions come in and help, and I feel like they were great additions for us. They're going to be people that are going to help us out in this next season, and the defense is, we're all getting better every day, and that's one of the biggest things on defense. We had to figure out what our weaknesses were and where we had flaws, and take those flaws and to master them and make something new out of them.
Mohamed, speaking for myself here, it was very exciting for me to watch the Mohamed Ibrahim show last year, right? With the performance that you put on in a shortened amount of time. How much do you feel pressure this year going into 21?
I don't feel pressure. None of it would be here without the work. The work is what make it all go. So just put my head down and keep working, get focused for the next day and get better each and every other day is very important to me. So without the work, you wouldn't even know who I am. So I just got to lean back on the work and just keep focusing.
100%, 100%. I have the, let's call it arrogance, to put together what I think of as the all-time best offense and defense in Big Ten history. Tell me who I left off. And when you tell me who you're taking off.
Okay.
Oof.
Bronco Nagurski.
That's tough.
We mulling. What are we thinking?
That's tough.
Let me see defense. Let me see how you think, man.
It's okay to say I got it perfect. It's all right.
Let me see how you think.
Ooh, I don't know.
Oh, I think we're going for 6 every time. That's what I think. I think we're going for 6 and we tackling people in the backfield.
This, I don't know.
Hey, say names.
I don't really know this. I don't really know him.
I feel
I don't know him. I'm not gonna lie.
I must be too young.
Yeah.
Like, trying to,
I was looking at the name. I was like, I the names of people, but I don't know him.
I think I'm too young. I gotta see his highlights.
I gotta see his tape because I don't know who that is.
Who we talking about?
Jim
Leonard.
Jim Leonard.
Defense coordinator at Wisconsin.
Yeah. He's the DC at Wisconsin.
Right now?
Yeah. He's smart dude.
No, that's I get it. No, that plays.
Yeah.
That plays.
What year did he play?
Ooh, 02? 03?
Oh yeah, I was like 3 years old.
Carl, I got that right? Okay, yep, all right.
I gotta see his highlight tape.
Yeah, I gotta see that because I don't know about that.
But this offense.
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
Offense, you got it right.
Okay.
The thing is, like, I don't really remember
that's
Charles Rogers.
At Michigan State?
Yeah, and I feel bad saying that.
No, hey, look, if you don't remember, you don't remember. Like,
Right.
I'm expecting people to come to me and be like, who is David Boston? And then I got to fight. But
Right.
I know everybody else.
Yeah. I think besides that, it's really solid. I like the Justin Fields pick.
I appreciate
I like that.
I appreciate that, especially coming from a player who had an opportunity to play the same time he did in this league. Yeah.
I mean, he's different. He's special. So I respect that pick for sure.
Right on. Mo, speak now. Forever hold your peace.
I don't know. Let me see that. Let me see the wide receivers again. No, I think you did your thing. You did your thing on offense.
Okay. All right.
Do you remember? Yeah, he was different.
Offense, you did your thing.
Who we talking about? Who we talking about?
He's talking about Shazier.
I'm talking about.
No.
Oh, who you talking about?
No, not Shazier. I'm saying like we don't know what this is.
Yeah.
I
just don't know
I
what
would
it is.
replace it.
I don't know. I respect him. So.
Peppers.
For who? For who? Real quick.
I don't know Jim. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I just don't
all right.
know him.
So Jabril for Jim.
I just don't know him.
Okay, that's all right.
You know what I mean?
But if you know Jabril, ride with Jabril, right? Because there's a lot of dudes that people threw in me that I'm like, I don't know that dude. I don't know that dude.
You putting Justin Fields over Drew Brees?
Yes, I am.
Because
That's bold.
Ooh, because I think that Justin Fields wins the national championship with that Purdue roster, but that's just me.
Okay.
All right, we can keep arguing about it. We keep talking about it, discussing it, but I got to let y'all go. Tanner Morgan, Boye, Mo, thank y'all so much for doing this.
Yeah,
For sure.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
I'm here with Northwestern head coach Pat Fitzgerald. Coach, how you doing?
I'm doing great, thanks.
I commented before we started taping that you sent a funny tweet and breaking. We will not be naming a starting quarterback today. Funny how that never happens in media days.
Very rarely does it, and nor am I going to now, but thanks for asking.
Well, see, that's the thing, though. Like, I look at your quarterbacks, and I see two guys that know how to play football.
Yep.
And I think in watching Peyton Ramsey, what he was able to do last year,
Right.
you get a lot of guys that aren't always paying attention. I get from you that those guys are, and you feel good about both of them.
I do. I really do. And I think we have a third with Andrew. So, I feel like we've got really good competitive depth there. Someone's got to take the job over to start the year. But I feel good about the room.
I need to ask you about your new athletic director, who is my athletic director at the University of Tulsa, Dr. Gregg. Have you got a chance to get to know him?
We've gotten to know each other a little bit. Doc's going to get up on campus, really starting full time on Sunday. Look forward to building that relationship. We've had some great talks. I think we're very much aligned with where we want to go and what we want to do, and I'm really excited to work with him.
One of the things I mentioned to your kids who come in here just a little bit earlier was you don't get lauded for the development that goes on at Northwestern as much as you should, especially when you take into account Rashawn and Greg.
Right.
What are you guys doing to prepare these players for not just the NFL, but getting drafted in the first round?
Well, I think the credit goes, first of all, to the young men. I mean, they put the effort in, and that's the key ingredient. Of course, I'm proud of our strength staff and nutrition and athletic training and our coaching staff, the job that they did putting together a blueprint to develop both young men. But at the end of the day, it's the effort that they put in. They both were pretty fortunate to stay relatively healthy, put great tape out there so that they could be evaluated. And then the best part, when they started to go through the NFL evaluation, they didn't have to become someone new. They just had to be themselves. And so they're from great families, incredibly humble young men that love the game, that play it the right way, that are going to make the Chargers and the Browns incredibly happy to draft them in the first round.
How much are you depending on Brandon Joseph to buoy your secondary this year?
Well, Brandon's got a lot of experience now, and you wouldn't have said that a year ago, but to see what he's been able to accomplish in a short amount of time is nothing less than spectacular. Great ball skills. I think really understanding the nuances now of playing defense as he gets more experience. But wow, is he a talented guy when that ball's up in the air.
In as much as a cornerback can, has he been helpful to Coach O'Neill in getting acclimated?
He has. I mean, Jim's been in our program before as a graduate assistant, a wealth of experience at the NFL and collegiate level. And what I loved about when we brought Jim in was the fact that he wanted to make this our defense, not just his. And, that collaboration with Marty Long and Tim McGargle and Matt McPherson has been something that, in my opinion, is going to be hopefully our hallmark of our defense this year.
I need to ask you, and I'm trying to be as pointed as I can with this question, so forgive me. How have you been able to do this at a place like Northwestern for so long? Because we don't see longevity like you have there at this position. Like, we just don't see it.
Right. Well, consistency of support. We've had great support from our leadership, our trustees, our president, our athletic directors, and we've had great players. We've had players that have had all Big Ten careers across every one of my seasons that I've had the privilege to coach them. And then a consistency in our staff. I've had very little turnover. We've had a little bit more as of late with some retirements and things of that nature. But I think the consistency in the leadership, the support, and then our players.
Is there a part of the game as it's becoming more contemporary and modern that you're enthusiastic about in what we're seeing today, whether it be name, image, and likeness, expansion of the playoff, those sorts of things?
Well, I think anything that touches the game that's a nuance is pretty neat.
Okay.
I think it creates a lot of change. For some people, they hear change and they get. I don't mind it, especially someone who's been at a school as long as I have. The ability to have some change and make it be a benefit for the game, make it be a benefit for the student athletes. I'm two hands up, all for it.
Well, it's interesting you say that because I've said, are they still playing 11 aside?
Yeah, right. Well, it's funny is that as I look at the game itself. You could say that there's been some nuances with maybe a little bit more explosiveness, a little bit more wide open. The rule changes have created that, right, in the passing game. And, our game is kind of getting a little bit more closer to the NFL model of throwing the ball more. But the game in and of itself is still about blocking and tackling, throwing and catching and covering. And then obviously some important kicks and snaps. Outside the game is where a lot of this is changing. And, I do think the one constant is the game. The game hasn't changed. And there still is a level of commitment and trust and toughness and hard work. All the values that go along with our game, those have not changed. And I think it stood the test of time.
Coach, I want to pivot to some, I think, much more fun questions. Sure. And I would appreciate having fun with them. So the first one is, what's the last job you had that had nothing to do with coaching football?
I did radio sales before I became a graduate assistant coach. So
wow.
I was a salesman for a radio station in Chicago.
Did you like that job?
I got into coaching as fast as I could.
Okay. That's
I was in a startup radio station and we had no numbers. So we were just building relationships and then I segued out. So I had a blast with great people. It was a lot of fun. It was kind of a little stopgap job between getting cut by the Cowboys and getting into coaching. So great people. I had a lot of fun, but I've been ecstatic to be in coaching ever since.
Oh, man, selling book without a book. That's
not fun.
No, not at all. Which fictional football player do you most want to join your team?
Wow. When you say fictional football player.
Movie.
Oh, wow. Well, it wouldn't be Rudy. I've met him. It would probably be Bobby Boucher.
Okay.
Yeah. I think I'd take the water boy.
Is it because he's tackling? Is it because he's charismatic?
Yeah, I think it's because that attitude that he had took out and permeated through the whole program in the university. So I think I'll go with Bobby Boucher.
Hey, man, I like a man that loves his mama. So, Coach, I got the arrogance to put together an all-time Big Ten defense and offense.
Okay.
And as I said, I'm probably going to get in trouble. Might get yelled at there.
Okay.
But tell me who I left off. Who you put on?
Offensively, you can't put every Buckeye on there. But I would. There was this kid named Eddie George.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Contemporary yours.
I think I think there's this two-time Heisman Trophy winner from Ohio State.
Only one.
Arch.
Cam's the only guy that has brought him up.
That's because he's from Ohio.
Okay.
Plays running back.
Okay.
I think Archie. We had a great player in Chris Hinton.
Yes.
O-lineman.
Very much so.
We'll probably leave it at that. That's enough. It's pretty darn good. Defensively, I agree with Charles. This is a pretty darn good list. This again, you need to get a few more Buckeyes on here, I guess. So
Hey,
Yeah, but I mean, if you're going to put Jim Leonard on there, I should be on there.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
Out of respect to Coach Leonard, no offense to him, but I mean, if he's going to be on there, I mean, come on, man.
So I think your kids pointed out Dick Butkus.
Yeah.
They want to know where he's at.
Well, there's no doubt about that, but yeah, there's no doubt. There's a couple pretty good linebackers missing. That's awesome.
I love that you said that about Jim Leonard. It's great. Northwestern coach Pat Fitzgerald, thank you so much for your time, sir.
Honor to do it. Thanks. Go Cats.
I'm here with Nebraska head coach Scott Frost. Coach, how you doing?
Doing great. How are you?
I'm good, sir. I got to say, I've been looking forward to speaking with you all day because you get to play in the game that we've been talking about for the last 10, 11 years this September, OU and Nebraska. How excited are you to be coaching in this rivalry?
I'm fired up. Our kids are excited to play in that one. It's one of the best teams in the country. We get the chance to go down and see what we're made of. Obviously, we have some big games, including an opener ahead of that. But I grew up with the Nebraska-Oklahoma rivalry. It was the best rivalry in the country at the time, and it's really neat to be a part of that rivalry again.
So earlier this summer, as we are in the content business, I was asked to come up with my top 10 all-time transfers going into college football. And I got you at number 1.
Oh, no, I'm not number 1.
Well, I don't expect you to say you're number 1, but you would say you got an argument, right? Because what you did coming to Nebraska and helping to win a national championship, I always thought was a very big deal. And it happened for me at a formative period in my life, right? So I think that also plays in there. But now that you've seen what the transfer portal has become, what are your pros and cons to what we're doing now and as far as transferring college football?
The pros is it's best for the kids. If they have an issue someplace or they'd rather be someplace else, having the freedom to move from one place to another is fair to the kids. When I transferred, I did sit out a year. I served a year of residency, and I didn't mind doing that. Probably helped me get my feet on the ground in the new place. I'd say the cons are statistically you're less likely to graduate from college if you transfer, which is a big deal to us as we're trying to get degrees for all our kids. And we'll see other cons as the NIL and the transfer portal combine. I hope it doesn't turn into free agency and go into the highest bidder. That's not where college football was intended to go, and I hope that's not where this lands.
How excited are you to be playing in front of a full stadium?
We can't wait. There's really no place like Lincoln in the fall, and the atmosphere around the Nebraska game is special. If you've never been there, you got to come.
I'm going.
It was almost depressing without fans in there last year, and I know they're anxious to be back. We can't wait to have them back.
So, Coach, I want to pivot to what I think are some more fun questions. And the first one of those is, if you could pick a movie football player to join your team, who would it be?
Oh, probably Latimer.
From the program. Steve Latimer.
Yeah, you remember that.
Oh, yeah.
Starting defense plays at the table. We need some intensity, baby.
Okay, I'm an Alvin Mack dude, but I got you. Oh, I appreciate that. I keep waiting on somebody to surprise me, and that was the first one I got. The kids, they'll give me Paul Crewe in the second longest yard. Some of them will give me Boobie Miles and Ronnie Bass, but
they wanted Adam Sandler.
They wanted Adam Sandler.
I don't want. No, I like his movies. I don't want him on my football.
You know what I'm saying, right? I'm not saying you could add anybody. I'm going to add defense too.
Now, from any movie, I'm going Jim Brown. From Dirty Dozen, anything.
I was about to say, pick one.
I just want Jim Brown on my football team.
I like that. All right. So the last one of these before I give you this thing in my hand. Say 3 nice things about your rival.
That's easy.
Okay.
I really admire University of Iowa for the success they've had and the consistency they've had. I'm friends with Kirk Ferentz. I think he's a good man. He called me when my father passed away. Was one of the only coaches that reached out to me. And I think what they do is smart and consistent, and I think they're a disciplined team that's well coached.
You should ask Austin again about his answer to that question.
Oh, yeah?
It was entertaining to me. I thought it was pretty good. All right, Coach. I gave you players this list too. This is my all-time Big Ten offense and defense, and I'm going to go ahead and warn you. I did not include Nebraska until they joined the Big Ten.
I got you.
Okay.
Okay. Well, you know, I didn't grow up watching Big Ten as much as I grew up watching Nebraska.
Right.
So I might not be the best one to look at these things. I'll tell you what, Justin Fields kicked our butt. It'd be hard for me not to pick a quarterback that won the national title somewhere along the line. But he's going to be a special pro. Probably Ron Dane, because I played against him. He was a 2,000-yard rusher. Let's see.
He's a big man, too. He's an enormous man.
Yeah. Man, I'd have to go back. This is all pretty current, other than you got Bronco Nagurski on here.
Well, hey, look.
There's probably some 70s and 80s that you're leaving off here.
I'm waiting on somebody to give me an argument for it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Tend to think that if they come out later, they're a little bit more sharp, or sharper, I should say. Maybe not.
Yeah, it's tough to judge people from different eras because it really is apples to oranges. And at the end of the day, athletes keep getting bigger, faster, and stronger. So if you're really putting a team together to win, I'd stay current too.
Okay, all right. Nebraska coach Scott Frost, thank you so much for having fun with us.
This was fun. Appreciate you.
Thanks, Coach. I'm here with Illinois coach Brett Bielema. Coach, how you doing?
Good, RJ. Thank you.
Well, I want to start with this. You have one of the oldest, if not the oldest team in the country in your first year at Illinois. What kind of luxury is that for you?
You know, it's a blessing that I really didn't know coming into it, right? So the first time I sat in front of the team, I just said, listen, because of COVID, they're giving us the opportunity to invite anybody that's in this room back for another year of college football. So we kind of threw it out to them that way. I said, I'm the newest member of your family. I'm coming in here today. You didn't know me. I didn't know you. Let's see where we can go together. So that has given us 22 super seniors. It's given us 18 normal seniors, so a group of 40 for a senior class. I've never had it before, never seen it. I said this a couple times today. It's great news we got 40 seniors, and it's bad news we got 40 seniors. They could all leave together, right, and leave you with a pretty young team. But I'm excited to see where this group can go.
Well, that is actually something that I did want to discuss with you. Is you're coming into a situation in Illinois where, just doing the math here, haven't landed a top 10 Illinois recruit since 2015. How has it been for you to rebuild these relationships with high schools in the state of Illinois?
It's been essential. You know, I think from day one when I took the job, started calling high school coaches, we literally reached out to every high school coach in the state of Illinois as coaches and built a relationship that can't be denied, right? And give them an automatic voice into our program. So that was big. But I think the other thing is to get to that point where you land the top 10, you got to make sure it's the right top 10, right? It's the top 10 by somebody who never coached a game or figured a game out. It's the top 10 by what outsiders feel. What we have to do is we have to get the guys that we know can help us win games at Illinois, right? We need to find the guys in the state of Illinois. If they can help us win a Big Ten championship, those are the ones we want.
Well, having grown up in the state, played ball in this conference, coached in this conference before, what kind of player are you looking for at Illinois?
You know, we talk about it a lot, but we love the smart, tough, dependable guys that embody some things that really have nothing to do with how well you run, jump, catch, throw, tackle. It's guys that are smart, guys that are very, very dependable, and guys that are tough. If we can take the field, if we can prepare them as coaches better than our opponents, we got a really good chance to win some games.
Why was this the right job for you right now?
You know, kind of just what you said. You know, been in this league, been in this division as a player, as an assistant, as a D coordinator and a head coach. I've been able to win a championship at each one of those levels, right? I have a Big Ten championship level, a ring as a player, as an assistant, and as a head coach. To come back into this in the Big Ten West, and in 2021 to sit here and say that something hasn't been discovered. Illinois football has been at times discovered, but it hasn't been able to be sustained. And I think that is something that really drove me to come here.
So I come up from Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Yeah.
I'm an OU fan growing up.
understand.
So I remember 2003 very well.
Yeah.
What kind of mentality does it take to get that sort of defense at Illinois for you?
Yeah, you know, it's funny. I just was talking with Bobby Stoops, and everybody at that time, that was such a overwhelming change, right, in what people did. I think defensively, that game in particular, we played to our players' strengths and minimized our players' weaknesses, right? And for us, the offense that we were going at was against at Oklahoma was very high-powered, very, very talented, but we knew the things that gave them problems. So we tried to make them play left-handed in a way, and I think that's a very important thing. You know, certain teams are going to have better people than everybody else, and they can make a game plan and make a recipe for success. It's a little bit different, but for us at Illinois, especially getting going here, we need to know what we do well. We need to stay away from the things we don't, and we need to try to make somebody play left-handed.
I want to single out one of the guys you brought with you today, Owen Carney, right? Because that dude has been ridiculous in that he's coming at a record that's being held right now by Simeon Rice, and of course, with one more forced fumble, I think it is, he's going to pass Whitney Merciless.
Yeah.
Thank you. What has he shown you so far? I know that football has been hard to play, and we haven't seen a lot of padded stuff, but what's he shown you?
RJ, it's been really good. I've built a relationship since day one. He's a guy, when I first got here, he actually went into the portal, right, and was looking at opportunities beyond Illinois. We developed and built a little bit of a relationship, and he eventually came back into our family, and it's been something that's been awesome for him and awesome for me. I think people always think that players learn from their coaches, right, but I really believe as a coach, I learn more from my players than anybody could ever imagine. And OC has taught me a lot about what has happened here at Illinois in the past, but more importantly about what he wants to do in the future. We've worked together on, whether it be a simple long arm technique to get to the pass or the quarterback, or we've also talked about life choices you make from the time you walk out of the building to the time you get back and how much it can affect your life, right? So he's really been a unique player in so many ways that are beyond those records you're talking about, because he really embodies and represents everything you want.
Coach, I want to shift gears here just a little bit and ask you some fun questions.
Okay.
The first one is, what was the last job you had before going into coaching?
Before I got into coaching, I was actually in fundraising at the University of Iowa. I hadn't got into coaching yet. I graduated with a business degree and was approached about going into the fundraising department. I did that for almost half a year.
How were you at it?
I didn't raise much money, but I was kind of in that intern role.
Okay.
But what it really did do, which, as we all know in life, you experience so many things that you don't know affect you while you're going through it. I had no idea as a student athlete how much had to be raised for that opportunity for me to play football, right? For our coaches to coach, for our team to travel, for our buildings that we worked in, So it really was an eye-opener for me to see all those other things.
Which fictional football player, let's say movie football player, would you most want to join your team?
Most fictional football player to join my team. I don't even know if any come to my mind. I'll probably go Sunshine.
Ronnie Bass?
Yeah, everybody needs a quarterback, right? So I'll probably go Sunshine.
A quarterback that can hit. There ain't too many of those out there.
That's right.
Okay. Coach, you've seen me with these placards in my hand. These are what I think are the best all-time Big Ten defense and offense. Like, you take a look at both of those and tell me who I left off, who you might replace, if anybody.
Well, this is your list. You got it.
You're being kind, or you're trying not to get in trouble.
No. I'm not much into, it doesn't look like there's a lot of nostalgia back there, right? So it looks like the players I see the one guy, right, Bronco Nagurski. But I think one of the neat things that happened when I was with the Patriots, Coach Belichick was part of a committee that was selecting the all-time greatest players in NFL history by position. And we would get called periodically into our office and watch players from like the 100 world, right? Like it was just crazy. Like it was footage of film that they regenerated and reposted, and you were watching players that played two ways, and there were players that were playing, linemen that weighed 140 pounds, and it was just a different time. But my guess is people are people, right? Like I do think there's a development factor that goes into today's world to make guys look this way.
Right.
But I do think that there were probably a lot of players that played 60, 70, 80 years ago that were just as good as these guys, but it just wasn't part of the world we were in, So it's very interesting to me to see and always reference back, like, what would that player have been like in today's world?
I appreciate that perspective because I'm looking for an argument not unlike that one, and nobody has presented it to me yet, because that's the one, right? When I look at these players, I see a bunch of guys that
we don't.
Yes, and also who, if I put them back in time, probably run roughshod over people because this is how we remember them, this is how they are.
That's right.
But you inject the super serum into Steve Rogers, and what do you get? You get Captain America. So no, I appreciate that. Coach Brett Bielema, I am very excited to talk with you. I'm grateful that you took the time, and I hope you have a really outstanding season.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
So I'm here with Maryland players, Dante Demas, Taulia Tagovailoa, and of course Nick Cross. How you guys doing?
Good. How are you?
How are you?
I want to first comment, like, Dante, you fresh. Nick, you fresh. Taulia, you fresh. Like, y'all been planning this for some time or what? Y'all just got this lying around?
Nah, I feel like, it's pretty much off the top of the dome, just winning the cloud and picked out some.
Dante just got you just got the medallion about.
Yeah, this right here, football, is my father's ashes, so I always keep him with me. Yeah, and this is a picture of him.
Yo, okay. Who's dad to you?
He's just my backbone, for real. Like, he was always there for me through everything, got me into sports, and he's the reason I'm here today.
Oh, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. It takes a particular kind of man to pull off white pants and a pink jacket, and you pull it off. Like, again, how do you pick this out?
I was at K&G like 2 weeks ago, and I saw this. I was like, told my mom, I was like, I think I'm gonna just get this.
Did you have to get that tailored?
A little bit.
Okay,
a little bit,
all right.
but
I gotta ask though,
A little bit. Had to get it tailored a little bit, but definitely was.
Fit just right. To Uya, like, what inspires your fit, dog? I like the high collar.
Nice and simple, straight black. So, business trip.
Hey, look, that right there, business trip. Y'all got what, 12 of those this year. How excited are y'all to really play football, like regular football, like in front of people football? Dante, you go first.
It's just, the feeling is just great to be able to play out there with the fans again, now that we got 100% capacity back. And just also be able to continue showing the foundation of what this Terps football team was really showing last year, just to be able to really show them that we came a long way and then this team is really prospering.
Uli, what about you?
Yeah, like Demon said, just, showing everybody the hard work that we put in, the sacrifices it took to, get to that point, and give the fans a show what they want, and for us as a team, not proving anyone else wrong, but proving ourselves right.
Nick, how's it gonna feel to shut down the masses? You're gonna be loud, they're gonna be running, you're gonna get this pick, and it's gonna get quiet at these away stadiums.
It's gonna be fun, it's definitely gonna be fun. Going out there with the guys, haven't played in front of fans in a couple of years now, so it's gonna be, definitely a lot of fun to go out there and just play. Like I said, like Leah said, it's not about everybody else. It's just, we know what we have in our room, we know what we have in the locker room, and just, being able to validate what we have, know what we have, and being able to prove to ourselves that we are what we think we are.
So I got the privilege of speaking with Coach Locks over the summer, and y'all got Howard on the schedule, right? And he made the comment that we might be having like the world's largest go-go. Now I gotta know, which one of y'all know what a go-go is?
Yeah, I'm from Washington, D.C.
Okay, tell the people. Dante, tell the people.
Go-go music is soul music. So like, if you don't understand what go-go is, I can't really explain that to you. So it's like, it's really, really music that like really puts you in your, like, jam. It get everybody jumping, get everybody on their feet,
Like what? What's one song?
I can't, those type of songs you can't really
I was just
Yeah, you just gotta be there.
Nah, man, it's you gonna get a DC thing. You're gonna get a DC thing. Nah, it's very cool, and I'm glad that he said so, because that also emphasizes what I think is really cool about where y'all are in Maryland, and that you've embraced Maryland. You've embraced this part of the country and embraced being that state school. How does it feel to get this recognition? I mean, you guys got this new Hill House. You're also getting loud buzz about this very deep division that you're in. I mean, it wasn't like that all the time in Maryland. How do y'all feel?
Well, it's just very exciting, to be honest, just to be able to say you're a part of this and like you're a part of a change, just a part of a new winning culture. So just being able to be a part of that, and my name is there just to show to other kids that they can be able to do it too, and they can be in my shoes. It's really, really helpful.
Appreciate that, Dante. To Ulia.
It's definitely a blessing, being put in a new facility. Now we used to have one of the worst, and now we have probably one of the best facilities. So that's a blessing. You want to go to a place where you're happy at, where you can work at, and where your brother's at. So, and like Dante said, just a changing of culture and hard schedule. Good football. So, that's just a blessing.
Right on. Nick, have you seen a change in, say, not necessarily student body, because people in campuses and whatnot, but the way that folks are talking about Maryland?
Definitely. I think that, after last year, we definitely showed flashes of, what we could be. And I think that, people are starting to take notice. I think that, all around people have always said, oh, Maryland has a lot of talent, this, that, and the third. But I think now that, we're starting to, put it together, we're playing with confidence, we're playing with that edge, just playing with energy and effort, I think that people are, going to start, really like turning their heads and being able to say that, okay, like, they're for real. But at the end of the day, like, we gotta put it out there. We gotta go out there. We gotta work every single day, and then let game day take care of itself.
Nah, man, I'm with that, because it's one thing to be in a deep conference. It's another thing to be at the top of a deep conference, and I know that's what y'all are striving for. I'm gonna hand y'all what I put together as the all-time best Big Ten team, offense and defense. Nick, you got the offense. Dante, you got the defense. Y'all let me know who I missed.
Got them ends right. Chase and JJ.
It's tough. It's tough. It's a tough league. It's a tough league.
It really is.
Nick, you looking hard.
Y'all didn't like Saquon at running back?
Yo, hey, look, Penn State dude said the same thing.
Saquon at running back.
Okay, who we taking off?
I'd probably say take off Jonathan Taylor.
Okay, all right.
For Zeke, I mean for
Saquon.
That's solid.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Other
You like
receivers.
Saquon? What do you think about the list?
See that?
It's okay to say I got the rest right. It's fine. Y'all can gas me up anytime you want.
Nah, you probably had a whole list of people in front of. We gotta think.
Yeah, it's a lot of names you gotta think.
That's a lot of people. Nah, but this smooth though.
Nah, it's a
this
smooth
nice.
list. It's a great
I mean,
list.
I only got 22, right? I got 11 each side.
Yeah.
For real.
You know what I mean?
That's nice. It's nice.
What made you put Justin Phipps?
Yo, man, watching what he did against Clemson last year.
You didn't like Braxton Miller?
See, now you sound like an Ohio State dude over here talking about Braxton Miller.
Bro, I'm taking Fields too though.
Look,
I'm a Fields guy too.
the performance that he put on in that game in particular, right? That's a dude that you can really depend on at quarterback.
Even in Bama, when he played against Bama, he did good.
Plus, man, I like Braxton. I have to think about Braxton. I have to think about JT too, right?
JT Barrett.
What about
I think he's better than
you didn't put Drew Brees on there?
Nah, I ain't put Drew Brees on there.
Purdue?
Why Drew Brees need to be there? What do you do?
Nah, yeah, not Drew Brees in
What do you do?
Drew Brees in the league, yeah.
In the league. In the league. What do you do? What do you do in the Big Ten?
He was all right in college. He was all right in college.
This is not the all right list, Nick. This is not the all right list.
I think I'll think more about his league days.
You love arguing.
All right, fellas, we running up on time. I gotta let y'all go. Thank y'all so much for taking this.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
I'm here with offensive lineman Doug Kramer, pass rusher Owen Carney, and offensive lineman Vidarian Lowe. Guys, how you doing?
How you doing?
Fantastic.
How you doing?
Right on. So I want to start with what I think is a scenario for you, Owen. All right, it's 3rd and 12. You're at your opponent's 40-yard line. Coach Walters got you lined up in a foot 9, and you got the snap count cold. What happens next?
Just try to do the best I could be.
It's okay to say you want to tear somebody's head off. It's all right.
I definitely will be upset. I'll be furious. I can't even lie to you.
All right, now that's what's up. So you guys being elder statesmen on this team, how does it feel to be among a bunch of elder statesmen? I think there's 22 super seniors on this team. Yeah. Is that a strength for y'all?
Yeah, I'll start. Yeah, I do think it's a strength for us. Just having the experience, having guys who, love the program, having guys who know, who want to be a part of the direction that Coach B wants to take us. I think it's definitely an advantage for sure. We're going to use the experience that we have to our advantage to take us far during the season. We have built a great camaraderie on the team. The chemistry that we built from each position room, has been fantastic. So I think it's definitely going to be an advantage for us.
Doug, what do you got?
Yeah, I think experience plays a huge part in the game of football. Obviously, it's a team sport, so the more you can play snap by snap, practice, lifts, the more you can be around the guys, it's huge. And, I've been around some of these guys for 6 years now, so obviously these are like my best friends. They're my brothers. And we say family a lot at University of Illinois, and, that means something to me because there's guys in that locker room that have been with me for 6 years. So I think it's definitely a strength. It's definitely a good thing for this program. And yeah.
Owen, you think it's a strength?
Definitely think it's a strength. There's a lot of experiences that we have He's been here one more year than us, but he's seen a lot, so have we, and the rest of our 19 other super seniors. So we just have a lot to hand, like experiences to give to the younger guys and things that we've seen. We know what works, what doesn't work, routines and things of that sort.
Doug, you on like your third president since coming in University of Illinois. That ever hit you?
I think it started to hit me this year.
Okay.
Yeah, honestly. Some of the younger guys started to say, they're like, "You're pretty old." And I'm like,
Started to say, "Old man in the room."
Yeah, exactly.
So for all of you, and we'll start with you, Doug. What has it been like to get to know Coach Bielema?
It's been awesome. He's a very personable guy. When it's about business, it's about business. He's an excellent football coach, but off the field, he'll talk to you like a man. He'll treat you like a man, and I feel very fortunate to have another year, especially with Coach Bielema. That played a massive role in me deciding to come back. Was just my initial meetings with him. I felt really comfortable. I felt really good, and yeah, he's definitely a great guy and a great coach.
Owen, what have been your interactions with Coach Gilmore?
Like Doug said, he's a great guy, very likable guy. For me, I think Coach has that it factor when we talk. When he says things that come out of his mouth just reach me. I don't know. He definitely was a big deciding factor on why I decided to come back to the University of Illinois. And I believe that he's a great coach and he's an even better leader. I'll follow that guy anywhere.
Darian?
Just like the guy said, Coach B is a great coach. I think he has that factor to, lead the guys wherever, he wants to go. I think he takes us in the correct direction. I think he will take us in the correct direction. I think that, he's hired a great staff, to surround, the players with. All of his coaches know the direction that he wants to go. So, it's good for us to be around, Coach Bart, Coach McDonald, Coach Walters, and all those guys who know, who Coach B was when he was at Wisconsin, when he was at Arkansas. They were around him when he had that success. And it's just, it's something crazy, because I remember when I was a little kid, watching Wisconsin, watching Russell Wilson play. I never knew that Coach B was the coach there and that one day he would be my coach. I'm just watching how great, Wisconsin was, and to finally have a coach that was a part of something like that and win Big Ten championships, and he knows what it takes to get there. I just think that I'm just so blessed to have the opportunity, to be able to interact with him and to be able to learn from him and take those lessons with me throughout my entire life. So
I would be remiss if I did not mention that you have played or started 34 straight games, and you've been a part of 40 starting games. By October, I think it's October 30th, against Rutgers, you could have the most starts by an offensive lineman at Illinois in school history. What does that mean for you?
It means a lot, just to be, I just thank God that, he's let me stay healthy enough to even, be a part of that record. As of right now, I share the starting record or the same amount of starts with my tackle running mate, Paucho. And, we're just blessed to even be able to be in that position. We're just blessed to be able to have that much experience under our belts. And I think that, it will mean a lot to me personally, if I get that starting record. And I just think that, just playing that many amount of games, having that much experience, just knowing exactly how the game would be played, knowing exactly, the ins and outs of what, defensive linemen would do and everything. I think that can help me prepare my other tackles that, are behind me and behind Paucho. I think that we both have a ton of experience in that. We both can lead our groups, and then with Doug also playing a lot of games and him just leading the offensive line and him just knowing the scheme, front and back. I just think that all the experience that we all have as a group, is going to carry us very far.
So, fellas, I took the liberty of putting together what I thought of was the best all-time Big Ten team ever. This is the offense. This is the defense. I would appreciate y'all taking a look at that. Let me know who I missed, who I left off.
What about Dick Butkus?
Thought about it. Could he play in the modern game?
I mean, how dominant he was.
I'm asking
He's
you.
tougher than everyone, absolutely.
Okay.
I think he can.
All right. Well, switch. See, if you don't want to argue with me, I'm not going to force you to argue with me.
No, it's okay because my coach has coached 2 of these players on this list. So.
Oh, for real?
So I think we got big things coming.
Okay.
You got Joe Thomas.
All right.
Yeah.
I mean, you over here with Whitney and whatnot.
Hey, you didn't even put him on here. Thought about
Look, I thought about it. I've thought about it.
Simeon Rice?
Thought about that too, but that's about what he did in the NFL for me. I mean, you could end up on that list. You have a season. Oh, it's okay. Miami Central ain't gonna bite on that one. Okay. All right. Okay. All right.
There's research.
Anybody offensively I should put on there?
You know, we could do Red Grange.
Galloping Ghost.
He in the Hall of Fame.
You do got
You got Nagurski.
Bronco. So you got Bronco on there. You could have put Red Grange on there.
You got Bronco on there. You don't have
Dick Butkus on there. You right. All right. So I got Butkus. I got Red Grange.
Dana Howard.
Simeon Rice.
Whitney Merciless.
Whitney Merciless.
What's the
so
other one?
Y'all would have 5 players on this team.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Just being clear about it. That's all I'm doing. Being clear about it.
We got some greats.
Got some greats.
Yep.
Doug Kramer, Owen Carney, Vidarian Lowe. Thank you guys so much for playing along, and good luck this season.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Thank you so much. It's an honor.
Penn State players Jahan Dotson, PJ Mustipher, and Tariq Castro Fields. Guys, how you doing?
Good.
All right, so this is fun, and I meant it to be fun. So I'm going to ask these questions to you that I asked to all the players, and I want to hear from each of you. We'll start with you, Jahan. We'll work down the line. What you think? So can you say 3 nice things about your rival?
About my rival? I don't think I can. I honestly don't think I can.
PJ?
No.
Okay, Tariq?
No.
Party line is no. Okay,
Yeah.
all right. What would be your Madden rating?
Oh my goodness. 95.
Coming out the box as a rookie?
Oh, as a rookie?
Yeah.
Okay, I would crack 80, 81. Yeah.
Still tough. Tough. PJ?
80.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I'm gonna say 80 with a 99 press.
Ooh! Okay, so I can just leave you over there whenever we play man.
Yeah.
All right, now I like
Or
that.
deep blue me. You know what I mean?
Nah, I like it. All right, so last one of these. Who was your favorite college football player from the past? Could be somebody you even played with last year.
Oh, that's easy. Reggie Bush.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why is it Reggie?
That's who I grew up watching. That's why I wear number 5. I used to love USC. He made me fall in love with USC. He was kind of like a movie star in college. So I fell in love with watching Reggie Bush while he was at USC.
Putting people on skates, dog.
That's wild. I was gonna say Reggie Bush too.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I don't hear that much from a defensive lineman.
Nah, I love Reggie Bush. I remember watching him ball out in them Rose Bowl games, man. But let me give you a defensive lineman though.
Okay.
I love watching Sue play. I like the way Sue took over games. So I go with Sue, because just I give you defensive lineman, I give you Sue.
Man, put that man in a 2 technique, let him go to work.
Yeah, for sure.
Tariq.
Since I'm from Maryland, I'm gonna say Tavon Austin.
Ooh!
That's a
You
good
gotta hit me in the chest. You know, I come up being an Oklahoma fan, and that man went for 300 bills, 7 yards deep.
Big ones.
Good night,
You
man.
seen the highlight tape?
Dude, he wasn't even no running back. They just threw him back there.
Crazy.
Yeah, no,
That's a good one.
No, it really is. It's a very good one. Okay, all right, so I had the, let's call it arrogance, to put together what I thought was the all-time best Big Ten team. So this is the offense. Take a look at that. This is the defense. Let me know who I left off.
Saquon Barkley.
Okay.
Let me see that, John.
Now, I mean, y'all can switch. Why should Saquon be on it?
I mean, I just think during his 3 years here, I don't know if you can name a better offensive player that took over games like he did. So.
Larry Johnson.
No, I'm saying his 3 years that he played.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
All right, my bad.
Yeah.
My fault.
Yeah, I think he should be on there.
Who you taking off? Because it's only 11 dudes you put on the team. I got 2 tailbacks.
Yeah, almost
I'm gonna put him over Say.
Yeah.
Who?
Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah,
Say it with your chest.
Yeah, I say Jonathan Taylor. Put
Okay.
Say in.
Okay.
Yeah, no disrespect. I think Jonathan Taylor was a great player. We played against him. Yeah, he made plays, but yeah, Say was different.
Okay.
Yeah.
That who you taking off?
Yeah.
You got Ted Ginn on there?
Nah, man. He ain't there.
Ted Ginn was tough.
Why we seeing Ted Ginn?
Ted Ginn. You got returner? I mean, what did he play?
Playing
Robertson?
offense and defense.
Yeah.
So the way I put this together, right? This is my 6 guard offense.
Okay.
That means everybody over there is not trying to move markers. We're trying to get 6 every time they touch the ball.
Okay.
Okay?
So if you're trying to get 6, you're not putting Ted Ginn on there?
Give me an argument. Wide receiver?
Anything. You seen the way he returned them kicks?
He
them
said
punts?
anything. I don't plan on punting. I don't plan on
That's
punting.
true. That's true. Yeah. I mean, if you had some
He
special.
said 6 every time.
Yeah, 6.
Nah, Ted again though. I
You
let
see the
that.
defense?
I let that go.
I got an
Who we
argument.
taking off to put him on there?
I don't know. I don't got enough knowledge about Charles Rogers or David Boston for real.
I hear you.
So.
Nah, those cats they're my age.
Okay.
Right? Yeah, those are dudes I watch coming up.
They probably elite, so I ain't going.
Well, I mean, it's all time. You can't be on there if you ain't do nothing.
Him at the top, though?
Okay. Woodson.
Real deal.
Look, over there, I got him playing safety, but you know.
You got him playing safe. I think you play him anywhere.
Okay.
I think this whole secondary with Jim Leonard, he could play.
See, I
both
appreciate
safety,
that.
You know what I mean?
Coming from a secondary player,
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
No doubt. Know the little things.
Jahan, you studying?
I am. I'm looking.
All right.
Not Tyra.
Terrell Pryor.
Terrell Pryor.
I was thinking that.
At quarterback?
Terrell Pryor or Smith from Ohio State.
Troy Smith. Okay. All
Troy
right.
Smith.
All right. So I got Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, you got to add him.
I got Ted Ginn. That's what y'all going with.
I like Ted Ginn. I also like Terrell Pryor.
At quarterback?
Or an athlete.
I don't want. This not an athlete position,
Yeah,
dog.
nah.
This not an athlete position. Why? Because there's only one Tavon Austin. That's why.
That's true.
Did Terrell Pryor take him to a national championship?
No.
No, I don't think he did.
No.
Yeah, I can't say that because he took him to the playoffs. So I'll leave that at that.
Okay. All right.
On defense, you might have to throw
Who?
Sticks on there.
Sticks?
Which one?
Ooh, over him? Over who, though?
Ryan Shazier?
I'm saying Sticks over him. Sticks gotta go in there.
Wait. When y'all say Sticks, I think of 2 players.
Yeah.
I think of LeVar, I think of Micah. Who y'all talking about?
Micah.
Ooh!
Yeah, LeVar on there.
LeVar already on there.
LeVar on
Sticks and Sticks.
Be crazy.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
Who playing the mic?
I would let LeVar do that.
Yeah, let LeVar play the mic. Let LeVar play the mic and let Micah just roam.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I like that. I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan, so I appreciate
You Cowboys
that.
fan? Yeah, me too.
Micah was where you guys were too, and I appreciated him. We played some chess. He beat me up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you know how it go. You know how it go. All right. Jahan Dotson, PJ Mustapher, Tariq Castro Fields. Thank y'all for doing this. I appreciate y'all.
Thank you for having me.
Right on. I'm here with Nebraska players Austin Allen, Deontay Williams, and Ben Stilley. Guys, how you doing?
How you doing? Doing great.
All right. So I hope to have a little bit of fun here with you guys to start, but let's start with this, the one that I'm most interested in. I'm from Tulsa, Oklahoma, okay? Grew up an Oklahoma fan, grew up with this OU-Nebraska game going on, being a back and forth every year. How excited are you guys to play in this game? And Austin, we'll start with you.
Yeah, it's special because I know this Ohio-Nebraska game has a special place in a lot of Nebraska fans' heart. It's the way it was back when Nebraska was winning titles, and then back in Nebraska was in the Big 12, and I think a lot of people are looking forward to that game, and I know we are too.
Big 12, Big 8, it goes all the way back to the game of the century. Deontay.
I'm highly blessed and honored to play in that game, just to bring it back, and I'm be the first one to play in it again. So that's all I got with that one.
Oh, that's what's up. Ben.
Yeah,
Nebraska boy.
Definitely excited. Just knowing how much it means to former players growing up, catching the tail end of it, in the Big 12 and whatnot. Just seeing the importance of it and how that rivalry was viewed. It definitely means more.
No, I think that the old heads like myself are a little bit too enthusiastic about it, because it's been so long, but it does mean so much, and I am really excited to see you guys play in this game. But you also would play that game in front of people.
Yeah.
So how much fun is that going to be? And Ben, we'll start with you, and we'll go down the line.
Yeah, for sure. Excited to have fans back, regardless of if it's home or away. It's definitely welcomed energy, and something we're really excited to have back.
I'm glad. I'm honored to be playing in front of people because you get to interact with the fans. Also, that it fueled me to put on a show for the fans also. So, given that, it's going to be a normal season this year. And
we are all looking forward to that. Austin, grew up coming to games? Is that right? Do I have that right?
No, I actually never went to a game until I was recruited.
Really?
I'm an in-state kid with Ben as well. So.
Yo!
Yeah, I'm not your typical Nebraska kid. But we watched it every Saturday. But we understand that Nebraska fans are passionate about their games, and that's an added thing we'll have this year that's going to be beneficial to us, I think, because they're a 12th man out there in the field. I know just talking with guys who've played here in the past. Travis Vokalek, he played here his freshman year when he was at Rutgers. Now he's here. We're blessed with that. But I remember him saying how, as an offense, how hard it was for them to communicate across the line. So having them back is an added advantage for us, I think, too. But it's an energy, like I said, or like Ben said, it's welcomed.
What has been the messaging from Coach Frost going into this season for each one of you guys?
Yeah, I think we're really preaching just player-led leadership and players taking over the team, and handling that front. Also just, improving, controlling what we can control, and letting our play do the talk.
Okay, I want to pivot to what I think are going to be some fun questions. So please have fun with them, all right? The first one is, can you say 3 nice things about your rival? Austin, we'll start with you.
There's nice things about Iowa?
Ooh, that's the sauce that I'm looking for.
No, I'm an agriculture guy. They got corn, we got corn, so I guess I got a mutual respect in that regard, but our corn's that much better. So.
Okay. Deontay, you say nice things?
I like the uniform, black and yellow. Yeah, but other than that.
Got nothing.
Nothing?
I think just overall, coaching-wise, they're coached well, and they play definitely solid fundamental football. Not going to beat themselves.
See, I like when you go vanilla like that because nobody gets offended by that. But I also enjoy the spice. It's a rival. I had, let's call it the arrogance to put together what I thought of as the best all-time defense and offense in Big Ten history. Austin, you have the offense. Ben, you have the defense. Deontay, please look at both of these and swap them if you guys need to. Tell me who I left off.
We definitely gonna say Sue.
He didn't play in the Big Ten.
Oh, that's what we're gonna do.
He only
got like 6 years.
So you're gonna ask me about
Look, he's on the all-time Big 12 team. You want me to put him on both?
Well, I just thought we were gonna ask about my childhood that I knew. I didn't grow up watching the Big Ten.
Okay, all right. Well, you know what? You make a good point. We will recognize who played it.
I can think of recent people, I guess.
You don't have to.
Who they got on offense? Let me see that.
Yeah, switch it up. Kent Bell was in the Big Ten for a bit.
Okay. All right.
Worse?
Let
Got
that go.
worse on there? No, Saquon? Question mark?
What about Eddie George?
Ooh, yeah. Where is Eddie George? Where is Saquon? Who we taking off?
I'm definitely going Saquon.
I like Zeke, but come on.
I'm going Saquon over Jonathan Taylor, but
Okay.
yeah.
Man averaged 2,000 yards rushing a season.
Yeah, Saquon's different.
Okay. All right. You speak like you have experience.
I do. Might have played both.
Okay. Right on. Austin, you gonna pick a fight with that defense?
Here's the thing. I don't know much about Big Ten prior to Nebraska joining it, so I don't have much.
Yeah, some of these people I don't know.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you half of them.
He's like, I don't know half of these guys.
The more I look at them, they're not getting any more familiar.
All right.
Looks good, man. I trust you. I met you 10 minutes ago, and I trust your picks.
I appreciate that, Ben. Ben Stilley, Deontay Williams, and of course, Austin Allen. Thank you guys so much for doing this.
Thanks for having us.